Can you measure, scientifically, can you measure how intense your feelings are? No, you can't do that. You're the one feeling them, and yet there is not a single scientific evidence for your feeling. And yet you're feeling it. You're hungry, you're starving, but there is no single scientific evidence for how hungry you are. Yes, maybe I can see it on your face, I can see that you're weak, but I can't measure your hungerness or your hunger. And so on. So we see that science can't cover all areas, can't cover all fields. So claiming that you have to have scientific evidence for each and every question you bring into discussion, that is to exaggerate the importance of science. Science is important, but to exaggerate the importance of science is what critics of religions normally do. They say that you believers, you exaggerate the importance of religion. Yes, religion is important, spirituality is important, but when you say that let's introduce religion in the parliament or let's make religion political, you exaggerate the importance of it. You go beyond the limitations or the limits of the religion. And here we see a clear and identical case of their critic. We see that they wish to impose science and scientificness and scientific proof on every matter. And yet, once you speak about something as fundamental as feelings, you see that science fails to provide an answer. So, when we say that the evidences or the proofs for the existence of the Creator are not scientific, they are rather rational. We are not admitting any weakness in the evidence. No, but we are clearing a very important thing, which is that science cannot be used in all areas. And let us talk a little bit more about the so-called scientific methodology. We see that the scientific methodology is elaboration followed by observation, followed by conclusion. This is the scientific methodology. You elaborate with something, and once you have elaborated, you have some results, and those results have to be observed, have to be analyzed in some way. You can say analyzation, and after that you conclude some results. So science is bound to materia. Anything immaterial or anything not unsensible, unperceptible cannot be submitted to this scientific methodology. And this is good. This is good. It's not bad at all. But in which way does scientific way of thinking or scientific methodology differ from rational way of thinking or rational methodology? It's only in the matter of elaboration. We see that the rational way of thinking, which is attached to reality, to materia, it's observation plus conclusion. So here you have science Here you have rational. And once you know the difference between the scientific way of thinking and the rational way of thinking, you conclude that the matter, the question of the existence of the Creator, cannot be a scientific topic. It cannot be that. Since the Creator, the existence of the Creator, how can you elaborate with it? In which way? It's impossible. Hence, you can say for sure that the existence of the Creator is not a scientific topic, rather it's a rational topic. And another thing about the importance of the scientific way of thinking. How did the scientific way of thinking come into existence? Because when you read, the methodology of science, they claim that the scientific methodology was born in the 17th or 18th century. Good, that's good for me, it's not a problem at all. But how did it come into existence? The person who made it up or who discovered it, how did he or she validate it? How did he or she give it credit that this is a reliable method that I should use? Either you do that the foundation of this scientific way of thinking, the foundation for it, or the base for it, is either rational or scientific. If you say that the base, the foundation, the reason why we use scientific way of thinking is a scientific foundation, then you have here a so-called vicious circle. You claim that scientific way of thinking existed before scientific way of thinking, and that scientific way of thinking is confirming, is affirming, is validating the scientific way of thinking. So, in what way? Does it seem rational that a thing validates itself? You use it as a foundation, but for itself? That's a little bit strange. But anyway, even if you say, yes, this is the case with the scientific way of thinking, I say, okay, why can't you implement the same thing on the rational way of thinking? Why can't you use it as a way in order to validate it? So the rational way of thinking validates itself as the scientific